My name is Angel Marie Kendall and this is my YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome and thank you so much for watching. Basically what I do here is document my journey towards financial freedom, as well as have others learn more about personal finances. Today I have a really fun video for you guys. I'm going to show you that it is totally possible to travel while still on a budget. Traveling is very important. It brings new experiences, new connections, and maybe even new business ideas. There are so many different kinds of people, so many different kinds of food, and so many different kinds of places, and it's not enough just to look at it through pictures or video. You have to travel. But before I get into the details of this very affordable vacation, I ask that you please smash the like button. It helps me get my content out to more people who are interested in personal finances or who are on the journey towards financial freedom. So with that being said, let's get started. So I spent 5 days and 4 nights in Puerto Vallarta, Jalisco, which is off the western coast of Mexico, and I did it all for under $800. Mexico is generally a very affordable place to travel, as $1 US equals 20 Mexican pesos. Your dollar goes a long way in Mexico. So let's talk about how I even got to Puerto Vallarta. To save money on my plane ticket, I ended up crossing the border from San Diego to Mexico and flying out of the Tijuana International Airport. I crossed the border using CBX, which is basically a long bridge that connects San Diego to the Tijuana International Airport. It was such an easy and effective way to cross the border. It cost me $35 for a two-way ticket from Mexico and back. If you're going to cross the border using CBX and fly out of the Tijuana International Airport, I recommend you get there at least 3 hours before you start boarding the plane. There are a lot of unexpected things that can happen, and be prepared to wait in long lines. Also, one more thing about CBX. If you park your car in San Diego and then cross the border, it's going to cost you $18 a day for parking. So if you have someone who can drop you off at the CBX border, that would save you so much money on parking. So once I crossed the bridge and was in the Tijuana International Airport, I went ahead and boarded my flight using the airline Viva Aerobus. My round-trip ticket from Tijuana to Puerto Vallarta cost me $260.42. Now, this is very cheap, so I want you to keep in mind that you get what you pay for. It's not going to be the greatest service or the nicest airplane, but it's going to get you to your destination for a very low-cost price. Now, the flight to Puerto Vallarta took about 3 hours, but once I got there, I was able to order an Uber and take the Uber straight to my Airbnb. The Uber only cost me $10, and it was a 30-minute drive to get from the airport to my Airbnb in La Zona Romantica. My Airbnb cost $52 a night, and with taxes and other fees included, it came out to $300. And because I traveled to Puerto Vallarta with a friend, I ended up only paying $150 for my Airbnb. It was a very nice Airbnb, located in the heart of La Zona Romantica in Puerto Vallarta. It was a block away from all the restaurants, all the club, and basically where all the nightlife happens. And the best part, it was only a 5-minute walk to the beach. It came equipped with a full kitchen and a balcony overlooking the city. I definitely recommend this Airbnb if you're traveling to Puerto Vallarta. My first night that I got there, I got $1 tacos and walked along the Malecon, which is a place where you can see beautiful statues, great restaurants, and witness a very beautiful sunset. When I'm on vacation, I like to have an excursion plan for every day that I'm there. There's so much to do and so much to see, I don't want to waste my day not doing anything at all. And in Mexico, lots of the excursions are very cheap, so it was very affordable for me to have an excursion plan for every day that I was in Puerto Vallarta. On my second day in Puerto Vallarta, I went on the Sierra Madre ATV tour. This was a 4-hour excursion that cost me $150 between 2 people. I ended up sharing an ATV so I can get some content for you guys for this video, so I hope you enjoy. This excursion included tequila tasting, free photos and videos, a tour around the beautiful forest of Puerto Vallarta, so it got pretty dusty, and I even got to milk a cow for the first time. Here's a video of me milking the cow. It was so cool getting to ride around the streets of Puerto Vallarta as well as get to meet some of the locals. This was such a fun and memorable excursion in Puerto Vallarta, and I would definitely recommend it for anybody who's going there. Keep in mind that it does get dusty and muddy, so if you're not okay with getting a little dirty, I don't recommend this one for you. My third day in Puerto Vallarta, I went on an exotic boat ride and also visited the QUIMIXTO waterfall. This cost me $35.14, but because I wanted to ride a horse, it cost me an extra $10, so this excursion cost me $45. This was a 6-hour excursion that included snacks and drinks, as well as a wonderful tour guide who gave us all the detailed information while we were on the boat, while we were on the horses, as well as when we were at the waterfall. This excursion began with us taking a 30-minute bus ride to a small fisherman's village in Puerto Vallarta, where we hopped on a boat and took another 30-minute boat ride to an exclusive island where we could see the QUIMIXTO waterfall. Once we got to this island, I went ahead and paid an extra $10 for a horse to hike up to the waterfall. I'm not gonna lie, I almost fell off the horse 3 times because I didn't know how to control it and it kept galloping off, leaving the group. But I was only on the horse for 20 minutes, and once we got to the waterfall, it was gorgeous. There was a little restaurant up there and we were able to get some snacks and some drinks and enjoy a very cool swim in the water. After about an hour and a half at the waterfall, we went ahead and took a 20-minute walk to a private beach where we got to enjoy more drinks while overlooking the waves. The beach was gorgeous and the drinks were so good, and there were so many dogs on that beach. It was like dog heaven on that beach. So we ended up staying at this beach for about 2 hours, enjoying drinks, watching the waves, mingling with new people, and after those 2 hours, we walked back to the boat and enjoyed a beautiful boat ride back to the mainland. Big thank you to our tour guide Guillermo. He definitely made this experience very fun and memorable. I do recommend you guys asking for him if you guys are interested in doing this excursion. On my 4th day in Puerto Vallarta, I did some horseback riding and tequila tasting. This excursion ended up costing me $74. This was a 5-hour excursion that included free lunch, unlimited margaritas, and free transportation. We started our horseback riding journey on a little ranch in Puerto Vallarta. It was such a cute ranch, and you can tell it was family owned and the horses were well taken care of, so I was really happy to see that. Once we were on the horse, our journey took about 30 minutes to get to a very exclusive mini resort. This mini resort was gorgeous and it was in the middle of nowhere, so you can hear nature all around. What made this resort really cool is that they make their own tequila, and we were able to try a variety of the tequila that was made there at the resort. Our tequila tasting guide was very informative. He gave us the history of the tequila, how the tequila is made, and he let us try each tequila that he had there in the shop. Each tequila he had at the shop. So you know how that went. About an hour after we're at this mini resort and we've done the tequila tasting, we went ahead and hopped back on our horses and journeyed back to the ranch. Back at the ranch, the people there prepared us a very Mexican-style lunch as well as unlimited margaritas. This was a very relaxed excursion, and I recommend it for anybody who's looking for something that has low physical activity. On my 5th and final day in Puerto Vallarta, we didn't have any excursion planned, so we took the time to rest and walk around the streets of Puerto Vallarta. After a few hours of doing this, we got our bags ready and took an Uber back to the airport, where we hopped on our flight to go back to the Tijuana International Airport. Now, when I wasn't having fun doing my excursions, I was either resting, at the beach, walking the Malecon, or getting some great drinks and food. My whole 5 days in Puerto Vallarta, I spent about $150 on food and drinks. Expect to spend around $3 to $12 for every meal you get in Puerto Vallarta. It depends on what you're eating and where you want to eat. You can definitely get some cheap $1 tacos on the street vendor, or you can go to the higher end restaurants in Puerto Vallarta and get a seafood plate for about $12. Also, drinks are very, very affordable in Puerto Vallarta. You can expect to spend around $5 to $10 on a drink in Puerto Vallarta. Also, I want to mention, because my Airbnb was right in the middle of everything I needed, I saved so much money on Uber. Almost anywhere that I needed to go, it was in walking distance. But I will say that Uber in Mexico is very affordable. I spent around $3 to $10 for every Uber that I ordered in Puerto Vallarta. Also, you cannot go to Puerto Vallarta and not try birria tacos. Birria and tequila actually came from Puerto Vallarta, so you'd be doing yourself a disservice if you didn't try these things while you were down there. They were super good, and if you're not sure of a place to go, ask the locals. Upon talking to the locals, we were able to find very good places in Puerto Vallarta that not other tourists go to. With all my expenses added up from the beginning of my vacation to the end of my vacation, this 5-day experience ended up costing me $791.18. It was definitely worth every penny, and again, you can totally travel while on a budget. Traveling does not have to be expensive. You just have to do a little bit of research. I have posted all the links to these excursions in the description below, so please take a look. Also, if you have any questions or comments on the video you saw today, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. I post a new video every Thursday, so please subscribe and turn your post notifications on. As always, I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye!